So the brain is controlled through the spirit. How? That around the heart there are 7 auras. Which can be multiplied into any number. 7 raised to power 1600, which are the ones which watch the 7 chakras raised to power 1600. 16,000, sorry. Now this spirit is watching through this aura, watching, I am again saying watching, through this aura. Can you sit down? Can you sit down? I think it would be better. There's no need to bother once you have put it in. This aura is watching the behavior of your 7 centers in your brain. Is also watching all the nerves that are working in the brain, watching again. But when you bring the spirit into your brain, then you go 2 steps ahead. Because when your Kundalini rises, she touches the Sadashiva, and Sadashiva informs the spirit. Informs in the sense reflects in the spirit. So that's the first state where the watching auras start communicating to your different chakras in the brain and integrating it. But when you bring your spirit to your brain, this is the second state. Then you really become self-realized in the full way. In the full way. Because then yourself, that is the spirit, becomes your brain. Action is very dynamic. It opens then the 5th dimension in the human being. First, when you become realized, collectively conscious, and start raising the Kundalini, you cross the 4th dimension. But when your spirit comes into your brain, then you become the 5th dimension, means you become the doer. Our brain now, for example, says, all right, lift this thing up. So you touch it with your hand, you lift it up. You are the doer. But when the brain becomes the spirit is the doer. And when spirit is the doer, then you become a complete Shiva, self-realized. In that state, if you get angry, you are not attached. You are not an attached person to anything whatsoever. If you possess anything, you are not attached. You cannot attach because spirit is detachment, complete detachment. You don't bother about any attachments whatsoever. Even for a second you are not attached. Now, I would say, to understand the detachment of spirit, we should study ourselves very well, clearly. How are we attached? We are attached, firstly, by our brain. Mostly by our brain. Because all our conditionings are in our brain and all our ego is also in our brain. So all emotional attachments are through our brain and all our egoistical attachments also are through our brain. That's why it is said that after realization one must try to practice the Shiva Tattva by practicing detachment. Now, how do you practice this detachment? सगळ्यांना इंग्लिश समजताय ना थोडं थोडं? In the practice of Sahaja Yoga, you have to rise higher. You have to improve your own instrument and not the instrument of others. This is one thing one should do. For definite. Now you just watch your attention very simply. Watch yourself. As soon as you start watching yourself, your attention, you will become more identified with your spirit. Because if you have to watch your attention, you have to be your spirit. Otherwise, how will you watch? So now see, where is your attention going? First, the attachment is in all gross ways to your body. So we see Shiva, there is no attachment to him. He sleeps anywhere. He goes to the cemeteries and he sleeps there. Because he's not attached, he can never be caught up by any boots or anything, nothing of the kind. He's detached. The detachment is to be watched and seen through your own attachments. Now, because you are realized souls, not yet, the spirit has not come into your brain, of course, but still you are realized souls. So what you can do is at least to watch your attention is enough. You can watch your attention very clear by seeing where your attention is going. And then controlling your attention also you can. Very simple. Control your attention. You have to just remove your attention from this to that. Try to change your priority. All this has to be done now, after realization, a complete